Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished faculty, honored guests, esteemed program directors, and most importantly, all our new master students. It's my great privilege and honor to welcome you all to this important occasion as we start this new academic intake, April 2025, here at Rome Business School. I'm Dr. Federica Salvatori, and I'm the Associate Dean here at Rome Business School, and I have the privilege and the honor of opening this academic intake. This is not only an intake, it's a meaningful journey of transformation. At the end of this program, each and every one of you will be transformed. You will have the occasion to grow, to learn, to connect with others. So this is not only the start of a master program. What you're doing today is to join an international community of students and of professionals. What you're doing today is to join a community of people who come from all continents of the world. Here today we have over 800 students coming from 100 different countries. And in this diversity lies our biggest strength. You will have the opportunity to engage with people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different perspectives, and that will shape you as a future leader. So this event marks the beginning of the master, the beginning of the intake, but the beginning of this transformation. And this will shape you academically, it will shape you professionally and personally. So it's my honor to welcome you all, and it's my honor to formally begin this event by introducing to you the Dean of Rome Business School, Mr. Antonio Ragusa, to give you his official welcome.
Thank you very much, Federica. I'm so happy to welcome the students that are attending our master's program online. Hundreds of students from any corner of the world starting our journey together at Rome Business School. So we're going to have several sessions dedicated to the introduction to our programs. What I would like to do is to provide you with context about the institutional environment where your experience is going to take place, and about the pedagogical approach that we are adopting at Rome Business School. So, first of all, I would like to share that you are part of a larger network of several institutional educational activities and organizations active in 8 countries of the world. It's a network called Planeta Formación y Universidades, which stands from the synergies between Planeta and the Italian De Agostini group. So together they created a great educational portfolio of business schools, universities, and vocational training institutions active in 8 countries that on a yearly basis serve over 145,000 students at the global level. So it's very important to us being part of this network, because from the shared knowledge of these institutions we get the best practices that then we share with our students at Rome Business School. Let me also give you some additional insights about our institution. We are proud to say that Rome Business School is the most international and impactful business school in Italy. So our students, you all come from all the continents, and we have counted 150 countries of origin. So this diversity, this incredible international community is a source of value for the school, but for each of you, because sharing your different backgrounds, experiences, approaches, and sensitivities will make you better managers for a better world and better leaders of the global era. We're also very committed, as you can see also from some of the figures in this chart, to create a meaningful impact on your career. So on a yearly basis, our career center that you're going to learn more in details during this week share thousands of job offers and internship opportunities, thanks also with the cooperation with several corporate partners that provide us with incredible opportunities for each of you. We're also proud to say that our Career Center is focused on providing you with opportunities also for those of you who are interested in entrepreneurship, but also in consulting or freelancing. So you're going to discover that we have dedicated paths for also those of you who are interested in creating their business venture on the global scale. Let me also say that this approach and this impact in your career is also the result of a corporate advisory board that we have created at Rome Business School, which gathers together 135 managers from international companies that provide us with important stimuli on how to shape academic programs that really match the needs of the changing labor market. So all this environment and these figures indicate the strong commitment to make an educational path that will provide you not only with knowledge, but also with networking opportunity whose outcome will be a professional impact on your career. We've seen some numbers, we've seen the approach, but let me also share with you the mission, vision, and values of Rome Business School. First of all, our motto, Better Managers for a Better World, summarize our basically mission with each of you. First of all, we want to ensure that each of you becomes a better manager or better entrepreneur in terms of skills, competencies, and know-how. So the basic commitment that Rome Business School is taking with each of you since today is to provide you with the most advanced management education in terms of professional and technical skills. But we want to do much more with you. We want to contribute to making you the leaders of the global era, sustainable and responsible leaders. So you're going to see that along the journey, you will learn also about business ethics, social responsibility, and sustainability, so to ensure that each of you can be the seed of a better world, more united, peaceful, and prosperous. In order to do that, we have the vision of being a global community. Global because, as mentioned, the intentionality is a source of value for us and for all of our students, but also a community because we believe the collective intelligence of our team, of our faculty members, of our corporate partners, and of all our students and alumni together can create and shape something greater and stronger. So since today, my warm encouragement is to share your experience, your knowledge, your backgrounds, also your doubts, fears, or hopes with us during classes and during our interaction, because this will add value to the learning journey and to your experience. Our educational activity is also based on some strong values that we all feel very, very deeply at Rome Business School. So, first of all, we define ourselves as a humanistic educational institution, because at the center, at the core of all our activities, there's the human being. So, yes, we want to shape a good manager, a good entrepreneur, but above all, the final outcome is to ensure that we can support you for being great human beings of the global era. We're going to make this also with a great commitment and educational investment in soft skills, so in activities related to leadership, teamwork, emotional intelligence, so to ensure that you can be equipped with the mental agility that will enable you to adapt to the changing challenges and opportunities of the global era. But we're also a caring business school. So we have a team that has been trained and focused on ensuring that you can be supported in your journey. So an online student has specific needs and characteristics, and we know that, and so we have created specific activities to support you specifically. So please count on us, count on your program directors, on your program coordinators, and on the entire team at Rome Business School to solve any issue, any problem, and to share also your ideas to make your experience even better. We're also proud to say that we are a community of dreamers. The Rome Business School itself stems from a dream, my personal dream, that now has become the dream and the reality, let me say, of thousands of students that on a yearly basis we train, and of dozens of faculty members, team members that support this dream. And the idea that we want to share with you is that on completion of the journey, we want each of you to become and to be a pragmatic dreamer. So a dreamer that translates the dream into reality, into action. So we'll do that by supporting you in developing a mental attitude that I would say is a can-do attitude. We want to develop a mindset that is based on the fact that there are no real limits to what you can achieve. We're also a synergetic institution. As mentioned, we are a global community, so we think that the interaction and the synergies with all the stakeholders of the schools, including faculty members, corporate leaders and members and partners, will make something greater. So we also recommend you since today to create synergies also with your colleague students on a global basis, because this will increase your chances of success in life and in labor market. Last but not least, we are a cross-cultural business school. As mentioned, your cultural diversity is a source of value, of enrichment, that we warmly encourage you to share and enable to make a source of competitive advantage. Let me also share the 3 key pillars that are at the basis of our pedagogical activity: openness, impactfulness, and higher purpose. What does it mean? Openness has to do with the internationality of Rome Business School, but it's not just a word or a principle, but it's a series of activities that we're going to organize with you and for you. Among them, I want to mention specifically the international boot camps that Rome Business School offers to its students. 12 destinations that range from Paris, Barcelona, the Silicon Valley, China, London, Lagos, you name it. A lot of opportunities that you can choose that the international department will explain more in details during the Welcome Week. But in addition, we have global courses, elective courses that you can choose and that in some way can customize your experience. Please also count and leverage on the international dimension of our faculty. Our professors come from several backgrounds, origins, and countries, so count also on them for advice, support, once again, to become better managers of the global era. Another point of our activity is represented by the impactfulness. As mentioned, we are here not only to provide you with knowledge, education, but above all to provide you with content and opportunities that can shape your professional growth. We want to have a positive impact on your career, be it entrepreneurial, managerial, based on freelancing or consulting. So you're going to have specific sessions with the colleagues from the Career Center where you can learn all the details of the service that we offer, of the paths that we offer. But we want to emphasize since today that the approach of Rome Business School is very customized, based on your seniority, on the level of experience, and also on the specific final goal that you want to achieve. In addition to that, the impact on your career will be facilitated by the fact that, as mentioned, Rome Business School has created a corporate advisory board of 135 members that provide us with knowledge, insights, and stimuli on how to shape our programs and to make it constantly close to the needs of the labor market. So count on that, count on the experience of the collective community of corporate partners that we have created for you and in your interest. The third, not less important pillar of our pedagogical approach is the higher purpose. We are here to give you knowledge, to give you networking, to support your career, but above all, with you and for you, we want to create a better world, more united, peaceful, and just, So we think that each of you can be the ambassador and the change agent to make this planet a better place altogether. In order to do that, we are going to incorporate in your learning journey specific content modules dedicated to sustainability, corporate social responsibility. We are proudly member of the PRME, which is, I would say, a unit of UNESCO dedicated to those business schools that, like Rome Business School, are committed towards social responsibility. And we are very proud to offer you a series of activities also in cooperation with NGOs, with the idea of stimulating your sensitivity towards social responsibility. So all this commitment goes along with a very important principle that we took from Nelson Mandela, that said that education is the most powerful weapon, a peaceful weapon, which you can use to change the world. As mentioned, we want to change the world with you and for you to make it a better place. In order to do that, I warmly encourage you since today not to miss any of the activities that the school is going to organize for you, not simply the classes, but also the company visits, the business practice lab, the activities of the career service. Everything is shaped, is designed and conceived in order to create value for you, in order to ensure that the return on the investment that you're making at Rome Business School can be the best of your life. So keep pushing since today. Don't ever give up, even if sometimes you can feel tired, because there are a lot of things to do, assignments, activities, classes. Everything is done with you and for you. I'm sure, dear students, that on completion of the journey, each of you will arrive successfully to this moment indicated in this picture. The moment of your graduation ceremony that on, I would say, a perspective represent the result and the successful completion of the journey that we're starting today. On the other hand, we represent the starting point of your presence in the world as a global leader shaped by the Rome Business School. So once again, thank you for being with us, for having chosen with us, and have a great start of this journey together. Thank you. And now I have the pleasure to call on stage the keynote speaker of our session, Mr. Flavio Arzarello, Public Policy Manager for Economic and Regulatory Affairs at Meta, Italy. Meta is a company that we all know, but Mr. Arzarello will say something more. I would like to briefly share with you the profile of our keynote speaker to give you more insight that then he will share in terms of, I would say, lessons learned from his experience. Flavio Arzarello was born and raised in Turin, now living in Rome. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering and a Master of Science in Management and Engineering, both from the Politecnico di Torino. He is a public manager at Meta in charge of economic and regulatory affairs. Before joining Meta in January 2021, he worked as a policy consultant in the tech sector and previously spent about 10 years in Italian institutions, most recently as a chief of staff for the president of the Parliamentary Committee on Digitalization of the country at the Italian Parliament from 2016 to 2018. So his story, his personal journey is full of I would say, insightful and inspirational stimuli. So let me leave the floor to Mr. Arzarello. Thank you very much. Enjoy your journey.
So thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and virtually welcome to Rome. It's a great honor and a great pleasure being here today with you and have this privilege to share a little bit of my own story with you. As was mentioned, I grew up in Torino, beautiful city in the northwest of Italy, pretty cold one, and this is where I grew up. As a teenager, I was quite idealistic. My purpose back then was simple, but at the same time ambitious. I wanted to change the world leave a mark, make a difference. Honestly, at the time was not that clear to me, but that was my real intent. I believed this was my purpose. So I believed that the way to do this was through activism and politics. But at the same time, I liked innovation and technology and spent hours and hours experimenting new devices and new things with my computer. You know, it was a world in which devices were pretty big at that time. We didn't have like portables or, laptops were at the early stages of their developments, and iPhones were not invented yet. So while I spent most of my energy in political activism, I didn't quite to know how to reconcile these two aspects. I somehow earned a degree in computer engineering in 2007, but it felt accidental. Honestly, I didn't want to be an engineer. I was convinced that my destiny was in politics. For years, I followed that path. I worked long hours in underpaid political jobs, moved from Torino to Rome, met Laura, who later became my wife and the mother of our son, Francesco. Life was in motion. And for more than a decade, I served as a staffer and then as an advisor within Italian institutions, slowly shifting towards innovation policies. But here's the thing about path. Sometimes we confuse momentum with purpose. I had stopped asking myself if I still wanted to do what I was doing because I just kept going. Then something unexpected happened. And this was a sort of turning point. While I was working as an advisor for a member of the parliament launched a special investigation committee focused on the digitalization of the country and specifically on public administration. And they needed someone who understood both politics and technology. Suddenly, that kind of awkward mix that I had always seen as a weakness was exactly the reason why I was the right person for that role. And that's how I became chief of staff for the president of that committee. And as I was mentioning, even if I didn't immediately realize, that was a sort of a fundamental turning point of my professional journey. For the first time, I saw the possibility of bridging my two worlds, public policy and innovation. I realized that maybe, just maybe, I hadn't been lost or off track all those years. I was just waiting for the dots to reconnect. After that, things moved quickly. At the end of that parliamentary term, we were in 2018, I joined a policy consultancy working for Google, which I perceived as a sort of new bridge towards the private sector. Shortly after that, I applied for a role that I really wanted in a beautiful company, but faced a rejection. I felt like I had failed. I thought maybe I didn't have the right background. And at that moment, I thought that I won't have a new opportunity any soon. That rejection was a tough moment, but it turned out to be the catalyst I didn't know I needed. While still working, I made the decision to go back to university, and I earned a master's in management and engineering from my alma mater, Politecnico di Torino, immersing myself in microeconomics and strategic management. And ironically enough, just a few months after I made the decision, the world came to a standstill with the outbreak of the global pandemic, and suddenly everything moved online. And in 2021, still in the midst of that uncertain and also transformative time, I joined Meta as public policy manager for Italy. And today, I worked at the intersection of technology, regulation, and some of the biggest societal questions of our time. And in a way, I also found a new purpose. I work for a company whose mission is build community and bring the world closer together. This has always been our mission since 2004, when Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook with the idea of giving everyone a voice. Today, this mission applies across our platforms and products, from our families of apps that I'm sure you are super familiar with, to our latest innovation in the domain of artificial intelligence. One example of this innovation is Llama, our AI large language model that has recently achieved 1 million downloads globally. With the release of Llama 4, we are continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI. But we believe that AI true potential can only be fully realized if it's developed and deployed in a way that is transparent, safe, and accessible to all. That's why we are committed to open source AI. By making our AI models and tools available to the wider community, we are creating more opportunities for startups, developers, universities, and researchers. We are increasing transparency and safety, ensuring that the benefits of AI are more widely distributed. Our vision is that AI will empower men and women and make everyone's life easier and better. We believe that by working together and sharing knowledge and resources, we can create a future where artificial intelligence is used to solve some of humanity's most pressing challenges. And at Meta, we're building responsibly with safeguards built in from the very beginning of the journey of a product or service. Now, this is my story, only my story, nothing special, just an ordinary story of a person who basically made a journey and had no certainty from the very beginning. I'm sure that the courses you are about to take here at the Rome Business School will help you and will be crucial to find your own path. Now, if I could leave you with some takeaways from my journey, something I wish someone had told me when I was your age and when I was at a crucial point of my career, this is what I would say. First, knowledge always finds its moment. No matter what you study, no matter how disconnected it may seem from what you do, later in life, it will matter. The things you learn will come back, sometimes also years later, but they will. Knowledge, like life, has a funny way of finding its moment. Second, connect the dots. This is something that has already been mentioned by someone much more important than me, but you won't always find immediate meaning in what you do. That internal tug of war I felt between politics and technology used to torment me. But at the end of the day, it all fits. And as Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. And you need to trust that the dots will somehow connect. And yes, there will be failures, setbacks, closed doors. But every no you will receive has a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. For example, that rejection I mentioned. The role did go to someone else, but was eventually cancelled during the COVID-19 pandemic. The reason was never about me. And yet, that rejection sent me back to university. It made me better. Sometimes failure is just life redirecting you towards something better. Stay in control. Don't let circumstances dictate your direction. Life can be unpredictable, even overwhelming sometimes, but you always have a choice, even when it feels like you don't. The power to decide, to pivot, to start over, it's only yours. So own it. Make intentional choices, because the moment you stop choosing is the moment life starts choosing for you or someone else is choosing for you. And then believe in yourself. Stay humble, but always. But also believe in yourself, especially in moments of doubt. When I embarked in my journey at Meta, I was full of doubts about my real potential. Someone calls the imposter syndrome. But at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, why should others do? Why anyone else should believe in yourself if you don't believe? In these courses, you will learn important things, but remember that what comes next isn't about being perfect. It's about being curious. It's about being courageous, and it's about being able to easily adapt to change, because this is the environment you will find out there. So I want to wish the best for your courses here, and I'm sure that what you will learn over the next few weeks and months will be crucial for becoming better managers for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your inspiring speech, and also for sharing with us your experience in such a honest way. So I totally feel what Mr. Arden, what you just said to us. I mean, it was very truthful, and obviously I can totally say that each of us' life is surely non-linear, and some of us can look at it with a little bit of anxiety, but also I think the best is to look at it with excitement, and we hope that, as he said, things will work out and we will be able to connect the dots. Now, probably each and every one of you will be now there thinking, well, what will happen to me? What is going to be my story? So we thought that one way of helping you in answering that question is to hear from those who once were students with us. So if you're there wondering, what can this master do for me? Where can it take me? Then possibly one of the ways of being helped in answering that question is, by talking to our alumni. So here tonight we have the pleasure to have with us two of our distinguished alumni, Giulia and Gianmarco. Thank you for being here with us. And they will be sharing their experience with you, moderated by one of our distinguished program director, Mr. Umberto Macchi di Celere. Now, let me introduce to you Mr. Macchi di Celere. So he brings over 30 years of executive experience in the luxury and fashion industry. He played a pivotal role in the global expansion of Bulgari, and later on, he took on the role of CEO of the Tod's Group. So his expertise in luxury brand development and in international strategy continues to shape the sector. At the same time, he contributes to what we do here at Rome Business School. So obviously for us, it's a great honor and a great pleasure to have him as part of our program director team, and also to have him serving as part of our corporate advisory board. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Macchi di Celere, and again, thank you for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you very much. Grazie a te. And good evening, students. You're about to start a journey tonight that will take you through the next 12 months, more or less. And you will have make a lot of experience there. You will do things, you will learn, listen, speak to people, work in group, do a lot of very interesting stuff. So that's the reason why the Rome Business School thought, why don't we have a chat with two former students and currently alumni that went through the online masters and had, as a consequence, some very positive effect on their follow-up in terms of career. So we're here with Giulia and Gianmarco. Thanks, Giulia. Thanks, Gianmarco, for attending and participating to this chat with us. Let me start with Giulia. Giulia, every time someone decides to take a master, it's because someone has an objective, a desire, a dream, an ambition of improving him or herself on something. What actually brought you to the Rome Business School Online Masters?
First of all, thank you for having me here. For me, it's a pleasure. I believe in hard working and continuous improvement, and therefore I decided to do a master in supply chain management because my previous bachelor was in international business with a major in supply chain. Therefore, the master is a top on cherry on my studies. But I decided to get out of my comfort zone and decided to take the year after a master in project management. First of all, it was challenging because I studied in Italian, and even if I'm Italian, it was something new for me because my previous studies were in English. But I experienced it was something that helped me more for my personal point of view because project management helped me to understand what suits best my personality at work.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Giulia, and
Thank you.
congratulations for getting out of your comfort zone. This is one of the probably most difficult things to do, but at the same time also those that give you the better rewards because you learn things you were not expected actually to learn. Thanks a lot, Giulia. Gianmarco, so about expectations. Every student comes with some expectations, something to learn, but sometimes when you do this kind of masters, you also learn something you were not actually expecting to learn or to know. Is that your case as well?
Thank you, Umberto. Yes, I think the most unexpected aspect was a peer-to-peer exchange with all managers. It was a very experiential approach. Moreover, I thought the online experience would be limiting, but I was wrong because we had an equal experience to the on-campus program.
And that, I think, is a very common concern, actually, but it's also very true that you can take a lot, I agree with you, from an online master, especially if you participate in an active manner. So you ensure that you are contributing to the discussion, participate, listen, interact, ask questions, and that's really something that helps a lot. Grazie, grazie Gianmarco. Giulia, did you change in something after your experience at Master? Did you learn something that in a way shaped your way of being a person at work right now?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Umberto, for your question. And yes, Master in Project Management, first of all, helped me with the theory about it because theory is the basic, is important to know it. So it helped me to build an internal project within my company. But what I understood better from this master and changed me also my point of view is that project management indeed is managing projects, but also and especially managing people. And with a master in project management, I was able to experience also this part of humanity and personal path more than the professional one.
So you're becoming a sort of psychologist on top of an expert of supply chain.
You have to, at a certain point.
I fully agree with you. Grazie, grazie mille,
Thank
Giulia.
you.
Well, Gianmarco, is there anything in your time that you spent at Masters that you learned and that you are taking with you and you are still using it today in your day-by-day job?
Thank you, Umberto. Good question. In my opinion, there are two key words, emotional intelligence and active listening. So learning to limit the impulsiveness and take a breath before acting.
Very good. So we have a yoga master and a psychologist in the room. That's a great thing. Thank you, Gianmarco. Again, I fully agree with you. I mean, these are super important skills. Emotional intelligence is probably one of the arts that we have to learn when we want to interact positively at work. So I fully agree with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for contributing and giving your advices to the students. I think it's also, allow me to say, a pleasure not only for us, but maybe for you to have the opportunity of being on a stage rather than being in a class like you were before. And I wish that some of you that are currently about to start your journey, one day, if you want, will be here on stage and telling us your story, what happened, how did you make it, and sharing whatever type of success you expect, personal or professional, for your life. Thank you very much, Julia, again. Thank you very much, Gianmarco.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all for sharing your experiences. So yes, so Julia started the International Master with us in Supply Chain Management. She then came back and she did the executive in project management, and now she's working as a local transport coordinator. And then we heard from Gianmarco, who did with us an international MBA, and now is a product manager at IGT Lottery. So as Professor Macchi said, our curiosity is what is going to happen to you, what kind of doors will this master will open to all of you, what's going to be next in your story. Now, talking about this, what I'd like to ask you now is to share with us really some of the things you're feeling. So we would like to understand what your aspirations are, what your desires are, what you think will happen during this year that lies in front of you. And to do that, I'll ask you to do a very short activity with us. Now, just use the devices you're using or another one you have there, a phone, a laptop, or anything, to go to menti.com. Please go to that website, take a second, yeah? You don't need to rush. And once you are on menti.com, please enter the code you see now on the screen. That's 5677499. As I said, you don't need to rush, feel free to take a moment to open up the website and to settle. And we know that you are connecting from different parts of the world, you're in different time zones, you're probably using different devices, so we'll just wait a few seconds for you to open the website and input that code. Now, while you're doing that, I'd like to just take a moment to just reinforce something that we said already, but I think it's really important. So I'd like to take a second to really acknowledge what a unique experience you are joining. So as I said before, and Dr. Ragusa really reinforced this concept, is that today you are not just starting a master program, you're joining a community. And what you're doing really is to sharing a journey with a lot more people who have different stories than you, but who share with you the desire for change, the need for change, the need of doing something more, something better, and to improve their own situation. So you're joining a community of different cultures, of people with different paths, and yet we're all here in one room. So let that sink in for a second and think about what opportunity this is. It's quite amazing that you have the chance of sharing this with so many more people. Now, I hope you were able to join the website and to insert the code. Now you have 30 seconds to answer the question you see on the screen, which is, what is one aspect of yourself, either personally or professionally, that you hope to develop during this master year? You've got 30 seconds to answer, and we're going to see the answers on the screen. So please start and share with us, what is it that you hope to develop? Oh, lovely. So here we see that a lot of you are hoping to get more knowledge, to get specialized in a specific field, yeah, as well as many of you want to improve their leadership skills and their communication skills. The programs that we have designed will help you in all of these areas. Thank you very much. Now, if you just go ahead using the same website, if you just stay on that page, you'll see another question for you, the second question. And this is, if you had to choose one verb to describe what you expect this master experience to do for you, what would that be? It's very interesting. So at the moment, empowering seems to be the most chosen word, as well as transform. Lovely. Empower, transform, inspire, and challenge are all things that guide our work and what we want to do with you throughout the year. Thank you very, very much. Now, you're here with us, learning, obviously, getting challenged, getting inspired. We have a program that you registered to, and that program will be full of experiences. You'll be getting knowledge, you'll be gaining new skills, you'll develop skills. You will be applying theory into practice through a whole lot of activities that we do, such as the Business Practice Lab or the Capstone Challenge and so on. But what is important for you to know from now is that in this journey, you're not on your own. And really, there is a whole team of experienced and committed professionals who are here to support you along the way. So these people are people who work with us day in and day out to really make sure that you get the best possible learning experience. It's a team of mentors, staff, program directors, program coordinators. They're all here to support you. So on behalf of our program directors, what I would like to do next is to introduce to you two of the program directors who work with us, Mr. Valentino Megale and Miss Natasha Valentine. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. So can I just start from you, Natasha?
Sure.
And can I ask you, what piece of advice would you give to the students for this academic intake?
Sure. Thank you very much. So welcome, everyone. I'm really happy to be with you here tonight. We live in a very interesting time period, a time of disruption. The world is changing, our workforce is changing. So as we continue this journey together, you have a great opportunity to put some things into practice right now. So for example, having an agile mindset, this is going to be so important for you as you continue to start this journey. The second thing, being curious about your team members, your teammates. Be curious about the information that you're going to be learning along the way. And the last thing, of course, is we want to put the human part to everything. So continue to develop those soft skills, communication. I know emotional intelligence has been already talked about, but that again is so important. And you can apply these things right now on your journey, and of course, when you get into your future workplace.
Thank you very much. So agility and curiosity. And Valentino, what kind of suggestion would you like to give?
Well, thank you, and welcome again. Welcome everyone, wherever you are. We are living in a complex world, and following also the words by Professor Valentine, we are experiencing overwhelming change. Change sometimes makes us feeling powerless. And you said also in the survey that you want to empower yourself. You're exactly here to take control of a world that is running faster than our ability to cope with it. So, because of this, in this era, at Rome Business School, our mission is actually not only to train you, but also to challenge what do you know? Because the professional today is not only one who generates answers, but is the one who understands what questions to ask strategically in the right moment. You are going to have an amazing faculty of professors providing you this kind of help during the next year. And I also want to add another thing, which is the Rome Business School is not only a place, it's not only an educational journey, it's also an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem of people. Wherever you are, you can connect with them. Remember, professors, the RBS team, your peer students and colleagues, remember, whenever you connect with a new person, you access a whole new world of knowledge and make value of this in the next months. So thank you again, and wishing you the best, and see you soon online.
Thank you. Thank you both. And also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for the work you do every day in supporting our students. Now, they are part of the community, a very important community that, as we said, is there all the way to take you from start to end, to the end of the master journey. And another team that will be working with you is our career team. So, the person I'd like to introduce next is Mr. Marco Regoli, who is the head of our career center. So please, Marco, over to you.
Thank you, Federica, and welcome also from the career service. My name is Marco Regoli, as mentioned by Federica. I'm responsible for the career services department, and I'm very glad to be here, even if only virtually, in this so important moment for you, because it's the beginning of your journey in Rome Business School. As you choose the school, you probably have some relevant expectation from us. I can imagine that most of you want to have a boost in their career. Probably some of you want to find a new job. Some of you want to make an upgrade of the current job. Some of you want to challenge themselves into building up from scratch a new startup, a new company, or some of you want to maybe put themselves in the market as acting as a freelance. We have good news for you too. The first one is that your expectation match 100% with our mission, because the mission of career services is to support students in giving a boost in their career, whatever the objective is. As I said, be employed in a company, or become an entrepreneur, or becoming a freelancer. And the second good news is that the program can start from tomorrow, because in the next day we will start the deep dive with the career services activities in order to share with you our methodology, our approach, how can we support you in reaching your goal in terms of career boost. So welcome again from my side, and enjoy your staying in Rome Business School.
Great. Thank you so much, Marco, and thank all of you once again. Okay, so we said so far that you're here, embarking this new journey where, as we said, you'll be learning new things. You will gain a lot more knowledge. You will develop skills. You will learn theories. You will apply them, and so on. And these things will be great, obviously, for your academic journey. But these things will not only be useful to that. You'll also be using this to navigate a very complex environment. So it's really clear, it's before us that the environment where we work in, where we live in, is quite complex, and it's ever evolving, it's uncertain. So it's important that you have all the tools that you need to be able to face this type of environment, this type of landscape. So with this in mind, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Massimo Scarcello, who is the Associate Dean for Corporate Education and Institutional Relations here at Rome Business School, to give you an insightful session on emerging trends and global business future trends that we're seeing in front of us.
Thank you, Federica, and welcome again. I do believe it's been a great session. And let me say something that listening to the opening of our dean, to esteemed faculty members, special guests, and the patron of the welcoming, it's always very, let's say, fil rouge in everything. We are here to support you. So let's look ahead, because the future is here, and we will be doing all the best to support you because your success is our success. The question I was writing in this session actually has been answered, because how are you preparing for the workplace of tomorrow? Well, the answer is already here. You just did the right smart action in enrolling in a master here at the Rome Business School. You heard how much we are passionate in supporting you to take out the most of your learning journey. But let me recap some words that have been already said from my faculty, colleagues, and special guests. So the world is going fast. We know there is no new under the sky, but you as a global leader, future global leader, professional that are already part of a working environment, you know that this business is shaped by rapid change, emerging technologies, and shifting expectation. So I would like to, let's say, do with you a very, very fast, but I hope interesting snapshot of which are the most important forces shaping the business environment. So we will talk about some key macro trends driving business transformation, the role of technology, mainly AI, we know from buzzword to really shaping industries and society. And of course, I will be ending with leadership, workforce, and the skill of the future. So I would like to start with this. We know humankind has experienced many industrial revolution. If we would like to call industrial revolution what we are currently living. But I do believe there is one element that my colleagues, Valentino here, I'm sure they could be agree, that is this specific moment where there is this unprecedented change is so rapid, so exponential. The first time humankind is experiencing that they have technologies, they don't know what they do because it's the border is really unlimited. So what we can really discuss about this is what are the macro trends driving business transformation. And in reading and discussing with you this element, I will, of course, be helped by many strategic reports that I suggest you to read while you are attending your master, because it gives you many, let's say, point of view, and as our dean and our esteemed colleagues spurred you to do, you will have, let's say, critical approach to understand which is the one that you feel most useful to apply in your environment. So going back on macro trends, of course, we already spoke about technological acceleration, but there is another element that we cannot forget about, the demographic shifts. This will create, of course, technology. Sometimes we pitch it as a negative element, but it's our future. A future brings also wonderful opportunity, for example, longevity. But longevity means that on the same work environment there will be different generation. And we will see later on what does it mean for a manager to, let's say, to manage different expectations. We will talk about, of course, sustainability, ESG, but also we cannot hide if we don't talk also about the geopolitical tension and the economic realignment. We were experiencing the last 30 years or 40 years about the, let's say, local opportunity, global economy. So going global and focus also on local. We are going to a regional, at least these are the first elements. But this means a rapid change, means also rapid alignment for the companies to understand how they should realign their supply chain. So you see, these are the kind of conversation, the information, decision you have to take, you will discuss with your faculty, with your program director. Let me, let's say, allow to talk about, say, an element that we always know had to take about, the changing consumer behaviors. We all know that today consumers are more informed, are more connected, and they are not choosing their products merely just on their features, but they are seeking for personalized experience. They are seeking for sharing values. They want to interact with brands that are, let's say, sharing the same brands, the same values they believe in. So they are looking for transparency, ethics, and experience over the product. So what does it mean for a company? Again, another trend. For a company, it means that they have to develop a digital-first mindset, meaning designing seamless digital experiences, integrating omnichannel platform, leveraging emerging technology to respond to customer needs real time. You see, rapid change doesn't mean only a geopolitical element, but means lots of things, lots of decisions that you will learn to take. Your faculty, your program director, and all the staff of Rome Business School will help you to develop, learn, and apply. Because remember, we are in a business school where we translate knowledge into competencies. I like to go further on this, and I would like also to, let's say, to give you some highlights according to the World Economic Forum. Again, another strategic report you should download. It is published regularly every year, and it gathers insights from more than 1,000 employers representing more than 40 million of workers in 22 industries and 55 geographies. So it is this report offers an incredible view of which are the emerging job landscape. And this is what I would like to talk about, this report and in combination of what does it mean working in the era of AI. So it means also that we already discussed, our colleagues already told about, that there is a global shift also in terms of jobs. There are innovation, technology are creating job opportunities, but of course they are creating also obsolescence for some others. But the balance is positive. Each of us, starting from myself, but in any kind of industry, almost 40% of your skills are, let's say, outdated. So we need to reskill or upskill. And I will show you later on what does it mean. But this is an incredible opportunity also. Remember what Professor Megale and Natasha Valentine said just a few moments ago. They were looking and they were talking about some specific, let's say, skills that are not technological skills. It's incredible. Ironically, we are shifting the entire world towards a very high-level technology, but we keep the importance of emotional intelligence, critical thinking, analytical. So what does it mean? That we don't need to become a technology expert, but we need to become a technology literacy, technology awareness, because your company where you already work and whether you are going to work, will be, technology will part of their journey. So companies surveyed in this report, of course, they are saying that there is still a skill mismatch. Marco, my colleague from Career Service, was talking about it, and I'm sure that he will help us to increase the activities in this depth. But I don't want to talk about generative AI. We already had the opportunity. Let's talk about some, for example, large action models. how AI goes from shifting from content generation to real world execution. AI is entering the action economy, meaning supply chain optimization, predictive maintenance, autonomous operation and planning. These are all elements that you will discuss during your journey. And of course, we are working about the balance between AI and, let's say, the humankind, human being. There is an interesting word created by Professor Paolo Benanti talks about algorithmics, the ethics of algorithm. You will need to be interdisciplinary. So going from a T-shaped from the years ago to a Pi Greco means representative, you need to have more knowledge. As I said, you have the need to reshape or to reskill. And this is the last message that I would like to gather you. The combination, many generations on the same working place. The shift of paradigm going from a skill for life to a lifelong learning. And last but not least, let's say the evolution of leadership. From these leadership theories that went through the last 50, 70, 100 years to this, at least the one, modern leadership, being boss is out. Remember the last words of our dean, collective intelligence, networking, connected dots, are all words that have been said during this session, and these are golden words. So, without any further ado, I give you really a big, big, big thank you for having chosen us as a business school, and good luck for your learning journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Massimo, for your insightful speech. It was very interesting to see really the challenges and the trends that are emerging as a landscape before our own eyes. Now, we're about to close this event, and before we do that, I'd like to just summarize very briefly what we've done tonight, right? So what we wanted to do is to bring you all wealth of perspectives. You heard from the dean, you heard the values we stand for, you heard from the associate dean, Mr. Massimo Scarcello, about the emerging trends. You heard from other members of our community, such as Mr. Ardanello from Meta, about his own experience, his work experience, his path. You heard from our alumni, program directors, and so on. And the whole idea is that we're here as a community to share these values and to work with you to become the best version of yourself. Now, what also I'd like to do before leaving you to the rest of your evening is to share what's coming next for you in the next few days. So what you will be having this week is you will have the opportunity to meet your program director, you will have the opportunity to meet your program coordinator, so the people who will be working very closely to you along your journey. You'll also have the opportunity to hear from a senior manager who, again, will be sharing his or her own professional and personal experience with you. You'll then have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Career Center and the services that they provide. And also, you'll have a session where you'll navigate, again, a bit more the ever-evolving technological landscape. So we designed the week having 3 words in our mind, which is that of discovery, of empowerment, and of engagement. And this is all we work for and what we wish for you to experience. With that in mind, I really want to thank all of you for being here with us tonight. And I wish you a great start of the intake. and also a pleasant evening. Thank you all, enjoy, and make the most of each and every bit of this program. Thank you.